Hi guys, it's Lucy and today I'm going to be doing my April wrap up. So April was a month and there was some schoolwork that needed to be done. Now I'm almost done with my spring semester of my sophomore year of college, which is pretty cool. You know, that's how time works, I guess. So yeah, this past month was an okay reading month for me. I read 7 things, 4 of which were graphic novels and 3 regular novels. But the 4 graphic novels were for school, so really I only read 3 things for fun. So yeah, it was an okay month. The first book that I read in April was The Treatment by Suzanne Young. This is the second book in the program duology, and I gave it 3.5 stars. Since it's the second book in a duology, I can't tell you what it's about, blah blah blah. So the first book is set in a futuristic dystopian society where teenage suicide is an epidemic and people are doing everything they can to make sure that depression doesn't set in so kids stop committing suicide. And one of the ways they do that is to invent the program, but the issue is that teenagers do not want to be put in the program because the way the program cures depression is by taking away your memories. I gave this 3.5 stars because I just didn't like it as much as the first book. The first book I really enjoyed. I had a really good time reading it, and this one, it was just okay. It was an okay follow-up. I didn't believe the ending, and the best part about the program for me was the romance because I really liked it. I thought it was a good couple. I thought it was really believable, and in this one it's not as good. The next book that I read was for my comics class, and this book was 100 Demons by Linda Berry. They have no consideration for, my book videos when they put these rental stickers on. This is just kind of a memoir kind of book where Linda Berry just tells like random stories from her life. On the back, she calls it an autobifictionalography because some things may have elements of fiction in them, and yeah. So I gave this 3 stars. I enjoyed the story somewhat. Some of them resonated with me more than others, but mostly I really just hated the art style. And I know it's on purpose, but like everyone's so ugly, and I'm trying to show you, like, I don't know if you can tell, but like it never changes, and yeah, it just doesn't look good. And yeah, but I know that this is a very important comic. She's a very important writer. She's also a person of color because she's either half Filipino or 1/4 Filipino. I can't remember. The next book that I read was also from my comics class. You will see a trend, as I said. That book was Fun Home by Alison Bechdel. I enjoyed this a bit more than 100 Demons. I gave this 4 stars. This is similar to 100 Demons because it's a memoir and it just talks about her life, especially in regards to her relationship with her father, because when Allison is in her early 20s in college, she finds out that her father is actually gay, and then he very soon after dies. So yeah, this is a very popular graphic novel. It's been since turned into a Broadway play, and fun fact about the author is that if you've ever heard of the Bechdel test for like movies and TV shows, she is the creator of that. So again, a very important person, not just in the world of graphic novels and cartooning, but like in general. I just found it a very interesting read to just see all her connections with her father and things like that. I wouldn't say I connected with it really, just because I've never experienced most of the things she experienced. So yeah, but I still would recommend it. The next book that I read was a book for fun, finally, and that was Scarlett Epstein Hates It Here by Anna Breslaw. I gave this book 4 stars. I did a full video review for it, so if you want to hear more of my thoughts, then please feel free to check it out. And a brief summary would be that it's about this really big fangirl whose favorite TV show gets canceled, and then she decides to start writing fan fiction based on her life. And yeah, that's my brief synopsis. Go check out my video for a better synopsis and more of my thoughts. Yeah, I really enjoyed it though, and I do recommend it. The next book that I read was My Friend Dahmer by Derf Backderf. This is again a memoir that I read for my class where Derf Backderf turned out to have gone to the same high school as Jeffrey Dahmer and was a friend slash acquaintance of his. So it's about him reaching back and like thinking about high school and thinking about Jeffrey Dahmer, or Jeff as he was known in high school, and just like his experience in high school, and to see how Jeffrey Dahmer became the person that he eventually became. And if you don't know, he was one of the most prolific serial killers ever, basically. He killed, I want to say, like 18 people, and like he cannibalized some of them, and like it was a really gross thing and scary thing. I gave this 3 stars because while I did find it interesting to learn about all the facts that there were to be learned, the art style really just didn't do it for me. I hated it so much. I hated it more than 100 Demons because it's so ugly. Like, that's a good one, I feel like, to represent that. Like, it's just not, it's not for me, basically. And yeah, and it's pretty disturbing, and the art style doesn't really help with that. I wouldn't say it's graphic because like, it doesn't show him killing people or anything, but it's still pretty disturbing just because of the subject matter, and the art style really doesn't help with that. The next book that I read was for Dewey's 24-hour readathon. I took part in that. I had a really good time. I didn't get to read as much as I wanted to, and I posted about it on Twitter and blah blah. I took part in all the fun stuff that was going on, even though I didn't get to read as much as I wanted to, which is why I didn't do a wrap-up, because I only read one thing and there wasn't much to report on. So yeah, this is the book that I read for that, and that was Wink Poppy Midnight by April Genevieve Tucholke. I really enjoyed this book. I'm so glad that I read it. I'm so glad that I made time to read it. I basically read it in one sitting for the readathon because, you know, that's the goal. It's 24 hours, read books. And yeah, I'm so glad that I read it then because I think one sitting is the way to go for this kind of book. I gave this book 4 stars, and it is told from 3 perspectives. Wink, who is the odd, mysterious neighbor who, like, no one really knows too much about. Poppy, who is the classic mean girl, and Midnight, the boy who's caught between them. And it's just so good. The writing is very atmospheric and like lyrical, and I really look forward to reading more from her. Sometimes it did get a little confusing because of the way it's written, but I was still enthralled with it, if that makes any sense. I would really recommend this if you like unreliable narrators and books like We Were Liars. This does have a somewhat similar feel to that, so if you liked We Were Liars, you'll probably like this. If you didn't like We Were Liars, still give this a chance, just because I liked it, okay? And I liked it so much that I made a playlist on 8 tracks, and I'll have it linked down below if you want to take a listen to it. The last book that I read in April was The Love Bunglers by Jaime Hernandez. I enjoyed this book. I gave it 3.5 stars. Again, I read this for my comics class. It is a graphic novel. There are pictures in it. Yeah, and it's really big and cumbersome to hold. It's about a woman named Maggie and kind of just her living her life. There are flashbacks to when she was a child and then other people's perspectives, and there's a love story involved, hence The Love Bunglers. I think my biggest problem with this was that this is actually part of a bigger ongoing comic called Love and Rockets, which is written by Jaime Hernandez and his brother. This is just like Jaime's part. So a lot of the time I felt like I was missing things. I felt like I would have cared more about the characters if I had been reading those comics for however long they've been going, which is apparently a long time according to my teacher. But I felt like I didn't really have that connection to the characters because, like, they are part of this bigger, broader story. And also because of that, I felt like it was kind of disjointed the way it was written and organized. Those are all the books that I read in April. Most of them were for school, as you can see, and I only have one more book left for my comics class, and maybe at the end, like when I'm home and like school is over and I have more time, I might do like a reflection on it, because this is the most amount of graphic novels I've ever read. Like, I've read graphic novels before, and I read single issue comics, not so much anymore right now because school, but like this is the most contained amount, if that makes any sense. And a lot of them were very different from what I would have picked up in graphic novels anyway. So yeah, I might do like a reflection on that. Let me know if you want that. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any opinions on any of the books that I read this month, please let me know in the comments down below. And also tell me what books you read this past month, or just your favorite one, whatever you want to let me know in a comment down below. And again, thank you so much for watching. If you like seeing me talk about books, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!